Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Mari and I drive a 2015 Infiniti Q50, and that will be the car that is behind me, and it is the 3.7. So for today's video, I'm going to give you guys a 2-year review of how my experience has been having this car and the pros and cons of the car. So I do want to explain that for my pros and cons and my experience, obviously it's going to be based on how I had the car. So the pros and cons for me may be different for other people. The cons for me may not be a problem for other people, but I'm just going to tell you my personal experience on it. So just for starters, I did get this car 2 years ago, as I stated before, and when I originally got the car, anyways, fly just flew right in my face. So when I originally got the car, it was at 84, I believe, or 85,000 miles. And keep in mind, it is a 2015 car. And right now, I think it has about 119,000 miles on it. So I have put quite a lot of miles on it. But I did drive my car up to Tennessee and back for Gatlinburg, which I will be doing again this year. So I'll be putting miles on my car. To me, miles aren't that important. I know for some people, they're like, I don't want to put these miles on my car, but I want to enjoy my car. So that's just my perspective on it. I do have little notes here because I have a bad memory and all my notes are in my phone. Unfortunately, I don't have a camera yet. So if you see me looking down at my notepad, just know that it's because I'm looking over my notes. So another thing I wanted to explain as far as why I chose the Q50, because obviously you have other VQ options such as the G37s, the G35, and then you have the Zs, the 350, the 370Z. So originally I did want a G37. Like the G37 was my original plan. I was all down for the G37. I wanted it, I needed it, I was gonna have it. But what I realized looking for G37s is that it's very hard to find one that's in good condition, that's not either a rebuilt title or that's beat to the ground. And it's the same with Zs because a lot of people use them for drift cars. Compared to the Q50s, more people use the Gs and the Zs as drift cars. So I did end up going with the Q because I was like, okay, well, they all have the same motor. They're pushing about the same horsepower. And the Q50, I could find in better condition. And also, I like the body style better than I did on the G37. Because if not, I wanted a coupe, which I felt like that wasn't the first thing that I needed. I would rather have that as my second car, which my plan is to get a coupe as my second car. So I chose to go with the Q50. A couple months into me actually getting the car, I will say that my transmission went out. That is one thing I have heard about the VQ transmissions is the motor is reliable, but the transmission is a little iffy. Luckily, I was under warranty, so I was able to cover it with my warranty. Now I'm going to get into the pros and cons, which once again, like I said before, these pros and cons are my pros and cons. If I keep looking down, I'm checking to make sure that the microphone is on. So the pros I wrote down is obviously that the motor is reliable. It's a VQ, as we all know that the VQ is a very reliable motor. For somebody looking for a first car and you want something that has a little bit of power to it and something that's also reliable, I would say a VQ. Now keep in mind that VQs are reliable, but my motor is stock. So it has the intakes, but in reality, my motor is stock. Like it's not tuned. I don't have anything done. So keep in mind that the car is reliable until you start touching it. A lot of people don't keep that in mind, and they get the car and they start doing all this stuff, and they're like, oh, it's not reliable. Any car is no longer going to be reliable once you add mods to the motor that changes how it was from factory. Another pro to me is that it sounds good. That is another reason why I chose the 3.7 over the 3.0 is that the 3.7 sounds better in my opinion. So my third pro that I wrote is the parts availability. So some cars, you know that, like say for example a Honda, you're always gonna find Honda parts, like especially a Honda Civic. You're always gonna find Honda Civic parts wherever, from whomever. That is another thing with Infinities. So I will say that Q50 isn't as big as like the Z's and the G's, but there is still a lot of parts available for the Q50. If you're looking for like a lot of parts, then I would say get a G or Z because they have a lot more parts out for those cars than they do for the Q50, which I think is mainly because a lot more people do stuff to their G's and Z's than how people do to Q's. So those are my three pros for the car. Obviously there are more pros, but these are just like my main things for people who are looking to get the car. And then I have a little sticky note, y'all. So, cons. Let's get into the cons. Obviously, as I stated before, my transmission went out. That was my one con of this car. If my car was not under warranty and I had to come out of pocket for a transmission, I like that soon into me getting in the car, I probably would have told them to take it back. I'm gonna be so real with you. Like, I don't even know. The second con, oh my god, space, 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 space. Obviously, the Q50, I believe, is the biggest of all the sedans they have. Like, as far as the G35 sedan, G37 sedan, I believe that the Q50 is the biggest of the sedans. But it seems like there's a lot of space in this car, but it is not. I have a spare wheel. Actually, I don't have it in there right now. But when I had my spare wheel in there, I had my jack and I had like a bin of like tools. And I promise you, it took up so much of my trunk that like I could not fit anything else in my trunk. So that took up my trunk space. Like there's not a lot of trunk space. And then as far as the back seats, yes, there's back seats, but I'm 5'6" and I have long legs, so I have to push my seat back. So if anybody wants to sit behind me, I have to move my seat up in the most uncomfortable position for me as a driver to fit somebody behind me. And even if I have a passenger and they have to move their seat back, like the gapping between like the front seat and the back seat, if the front seat is pushed back to like where somebody has enough space to stretch their legs, it is really tight. Like I'm gonna be so honest, it is like really tight. Luckily, I don't have that many people in my car, and if I do have people in my car, it's usually only one other guest. Luckily, but if I do have to fit more than two people in my car, it does get really really tight. So I will say that is a con for me. For my third con, something I've noticed as someone who works in a shop where cars are total all the time, these cars do not hold value. Infinities do not hold value, and that is like one of my major cons because obviously, if you want to like resell your car or anything, the value degrades like majorly. Like I don't even think we've really fixed a lot of Infinities in my shop because the value goes down. And then the problem with that is that Infinity parts are expensive. I forgot to add that to my con list. Infinity parts are expensive. Nissan and Infinity, they lost their mind when it comes to charging parts. So the parts are freaking expensive. Like for example, when we get Infinities in the shop, like it'll be like damaged. So you're like, oh no, that could be fixed, and it totals because the parts are so expensive. Especially if it's a wiring problem, just say bye to the car. Just say bye, because it's not coming back. I promise you, the car is not coming back. Like that is definitely on my con list. Like holds no value, and the parts are freaking expensive. Any OEM parts are going to cost you an arm, leg, and your newborn son, your unborn baby, your unborn child at that. So be prepared. So overall, to wrap this up, I will say that I genuinely do love this car so much. I would recommend it to anybody, especially if you're looking for a beginner car. A VQ is the way to go. Um, the only cons is just make sure that the transmission is good. Make sure that the motor has not been beat on because that is a lot of the case. The motor has been beat on and it's not well maintained. So make sure you're getting a car that's been well maintained. The motor is good. Try to make sure that the transmission is good. It's not going bad, obviously like mine. And as far as the space, I don't think that's too big of a problem, just depending on who you are. If you do have any questions, please feel free to comment below. I will try to make sure that I get to you. Actually, I won't try. I will get to your comments. I will respond to them because as of right now, it's only 122 of you. So I will get to your comments. I'm gonna wrap this video up for you guys. I do appreciate you guys watching so much. If you have any questions, once again, leave it in a comment. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. Make sure you like the post. Make sure you comment under the post. And make sure you follow all of my social medias. TikTok, my main page on Instagram, and my car page. Mainly my car page because I'm usually more active on there than I am on my main page. So thank you for watching this week's video. Have a great day.